This is a picture of Andrew Barbara Mueller family in Russia in the early 1900s. Left to right are Aunt Bertha, my grandmother Barbara, Uncle Henry, Aunt Elizabeth, my dad Joseph, my grandfather Andrew, Uncle Godfred. Seated is Aunt Minnie. Here is Joseph Miller in Goodrich, North Dakota, shortly after he arrived from Russia. My three aunts from Russia, whom I never met, Wilhelmina, Bertha, and Elizabeth. My dad Joe in his first blacksmith shop in Goodrich, North Dakota. He purchased the shop tools from a Mr. Axt who was impressed with my father's ability. From left to right are Richard, Joe, Sophie, Rip, and the baby Olena, who we call Kay. Here I am at 4 years old, and I grew up in Goodrich, North Dakota. My mom, Sophie, my grandmother, Catherine Fikert, my aunt and uncle, Bertha and Gudlick Fikert, standing in front of the old homestead. My family was blessed with curly hair. Here's Kay. As a schoolboy, I went down to the blacksmith shop every night after school to grind and polish plowshares for 5 cents a lay. The youngest of 5, Dolly, my mother's favorite. Here are the confirmants of our class, and Reverend Hintz is in the front row seated, and I'm directly behind him and a little to the right. Good-looking boy, eh? One of my many chores was to carry Dolly to her car. In the background is Walter Bauer. This is an old buddy of mine, Irvin Doctor. He had marriage on his mind. My chores for this picture was to hold my 2 daughters, Wendy and Barbara. Here's Jerry and Leanne, myself, Wendy and Barbara after a partridge hunt. I don't remember the occasion, but here's my brother Rip, his wife Viola, who were married in 1939. Dad and I standing behind the parts counter at our Minneapolis Moline dealership. Mom and Dad posing for a picture after their 50th wedding anniversary. They held their reception at Peace Lutheran Church at Goodrich, North Dakota. My Uncle Henry and my dad could only agree on one thing: they were brothers. My brother Richard, Toots, and their son Steve. My favorite airplane, a 1947 Air Coupe. Mom and Dad's 60th wedding anniversary. Mom, Dad, and Katie Bauer, my aunt. Dad celebrating his 90th birthday. Having fun with Brandon. Goodrich Jail, where I spent a lot of time as a child, especially on my birthdays. The Miller boys.